All all right, so staying with the NFL, we got week 2 coming. You know what time it is. We got the main event, Kansas City and Baltimore. But outside of that, Jay, let us know what you're going to be interested in this weekend.
Well, yeah, I'll start. Yeah, I'll start with Sunday Night Football. It's a dandy. It's leaps and bounds ahead of the Matt Stafford, Andy Dalton thriller, and wherever they were. And so far, it's just not great. But this is excellent. This is I think it's the most so far. It's a young season, but this is a game probably I'm most been looking forward to. We've been talking about this, over the past couple of seasons now. These are the two most box office quarterbacks, I think, in the league. So anytime they get together, I think it's must see TV, and for different reasons. Patrick Mahomes is just, he can do it all. Obviously, what he's able to do, throwing on the run, moving around the pocket, and just, you know, it's just we can't even like get into it. There's a reason, we got him number one on the NFL Network top 100 list. Lamar
All right.
Jackson, he's still working to, find that next level, at least, throwing the football from the pocket. But we know in the open field and when he moves around, this guy's unbelievable with what he can do. But it is a huge game, especially for Baltimore. They had a very difficult loss to the Las Vegas Raiders in Week 1. I really think they let that game slip away. So this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be a real challenge for Baltimore because we know about all the injuries they've had. That they've been well documented. Their backfield has been decimated. But I think if they I'm sure they watched the film this week about what Cleveland was able to do. Cleveland had the right formula. They come out there, they run the football, they control the clock, they keep Mahomes on the sideline, and they gave themselves a chance late. But you have to continue that. You can't play one good half of football and think that's it, because that's what happened in the second half. They were much more sloppy. I don't think they gave Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt the ball enough. And as you flub one special teams play, and as a result, you go down. So you gotta play smart. You got to play discipline, and you have to execute your game plan for 4 quarters. Their backfield's taking a bunch of hits, but I think what we saw with Tyson Williams in Week 1, I thought he was very good. Latavius Murray, I think he fits this team to a T. You'd like to see him get more involved in Week 2. I think in a power run scheme. I mean, this is a guy, you remember him when he was with the Raiders years ago. Don't forget the last couple of years with the New Orleans Saints. He was a great complement to what they get from Alvin Kamara. So I think he'll be a big asset to their team. But of course, defensively, that's a unit that we think, we got a lot of respect for what they're able to do, especially with Wink Martindale leading that unit. No Marcus Peters, that's a big deal. They had a lot of trouble with Darren Waller in Week 1, and it don't get no easier this week, because you got Travis Kelce coming to town. And not only that, the Chiefs are bringing real wide receivers. The Raiders, I know they got some dudes over there, but I mean, more or less, we're just spamming the Darren Waller button over and over and over. Tyreek Hill going to get his too. So, Marlon Humphrey, hope he got his cleats double knotted and he's amped and ready to go, because it's going to be a challenge out there. But it's that's a big time matchup. I'm really looking forward to it. But almost forgot we got more games this week. I got really in tune to that one. Listen, I think Buffalo and Miami, that's a compelling game. Buffalo, not a great performance in Week 1 against Pittsburgh. Now they got to go to Miami. They got to play in the heat down there. You don't want to get down. You don't want to go down 0-2. We know the statistics of our teams that start 0-2 as opposed to getting their act together in Week 2 and getting back to 500. So it won't. I don't think it'll be time to pull the fire alarm if they go in 0-2. But we had big expectations for Buffalo. This is the first year, since Josh Allen and Sean McDermott been around, that I've been fully yeah, I think this is the team. Even last year I'm like, I still think New England might do it. Buffalo did a thing. They proved me wrong. They were excellent last year. But now with the expectations fully on them for the division, they came up short last week against a team who, had a lot of question marks coming in, especially about Big Ben and, if he's able to give you what you need. So, I think this is a game where I think there's a little bit of pressure on them because they're the hunted now as opposed to the hunter. So I think that's a big one to watch. Other games, I think Tennessee and Seattle. Tennessee was god awful last week against Arizona. I really hope Taylor Lewan, did some pass blocking drills or something, because he was just awful against Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones gonna win the sack title off 1 week.
You Pro Bowler, all pro.
You spot a man 5 sacks, and I don't know, he might come for that record that one dude all of a sudden has from some stat correction from 5 minutes ago. So, I think look, Tennessee, that's a team had a lot of expectations. They've been highly relevant the past couple of years. Derrick Henry, gas him up. It's time to go. And look, you can't be acquiring Julio Jones and just go backwards and be worse. And they were horrific in week 1. And it don't get easier. The Nfc West, I think, is the best division in football. You're going to be on the road. You're going to be dealing with the 12th man. They're going to put fans in there. It's a Derrick Henry type game. They got to pound the ball. Same thing. Try to keep Russell Wilson's opportunities limited. But me, I don't think Tennessee's defense is much to brag about. So that's another reason to get Derrick Henry going, protect that defense a little bit. So I think that's definitely one worth watching. Outside of that, the other one, I think the other AFC South, NFC West game, Rams and Colts, same type of deal. The Colts and the Titans. Those are the 2 teams you probably think would have the best chance of winning that division. The Rams looked very good last week. Now they go to Indianapolis to play them. Matthew Stafford, Carson Wentz, both quarterbacks first year with their new team. Colts didn't look great last week. The Rams did. So, we'll see how that one turns out.
Yeah, man. A lot of action going on. I start with my game I want to see. It's a couple of games in the 1 o'clock window. The first one I'm looking at, I think the Rams and Colts. Listen, these are 2 elite defensive units here. I think you could say top 5 probably across the NFL for both of these units. So I'm excited about seeing the clash of the Titans, as you say, on the defensive side of the ball. But I mean, the Rams, they looking pretty good on the offense side too. So not to take that away. And the Colts, they still trying to figure out some things. If you listen to the previous segment, it's a lot of things going on now. So they still trying to figure out exactly how they want to do that on the offensive side of the ball. But hey, one thing we know about the Colts, they have an elite offensive line. So they should be able to figure that out. And then I'm looking at this 49ers and the Eagles. I want to know if the Eagles for real. I know people are, the Eagles, come on, man. They get 1 win and here we go. But, I want to see can the Eagles do it again. Listen, it was the Falcons last week. I got it. So now they come out here and play with a legitimate team in the 49ers that seem to be legitimate. I think, that can go a long way for the Eagles here to see what the baby Eagles going to do against the 49ers. And then, last but not least, the Saints and the Panthers. That's a divisional matchup. We seen what the Saints did to Green Bay. God, they sent the Packers up to the heavens. But and the Panthers gained some footing with their new start with Sam as the new quarterback, and he got a very tough but I think satisfying win over his old team, the New York Jets, where they just sent him to Siberia, and that's exactly where he's been that whole time he wore their uniform. Now he got some fresh air. Now he got a new location, and he can win a little bit. So we should see more out of Sam Darnold. And then going over to the 405 window, some games I see. My brain keep telling me be excited about the Vikings and the Cardinals, but Kirk Cousins ain't doing it for me. He's just not doing it for me, and it's very hard for me to get excited about the Vikings. So that brings me down to America's team, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Los Angeles Chargers. We got some things going on in this game. Why I say that? We got the Chargers coming in, second-year starter Justin Herbert, high flying. We just seen this Charger offense put it on the football team's defense. The Cowboys ain't the football team defense, not even close, not even on the same street, might not even be in the same book. And I'm talking, we talking about Harry Potter books here, Game of Thrones books. You know, some of that thick stuff, not none of that thin Junie B. Jones stuff. We talking about the thick stuff, right? They're not even the same area code, folks. So I'm very excited about seeing what this young man can do with this offense, bringing it, going against a lackluster Cowboys defense, and I'm saying that to be nice, lackluster. But then on the other side, the Cowboys look real good on offense. The Chargers no slouch on defense, but I think the Cowboys offense can propose some problems for the Chargers. So I'm definitely interested in seeing that one. That's probably my game of that time slot, is that the Cowboys versus the Chargers. But I'm with you. I'm with you on the Titans and Seahawks. I want to see that. Listen, we know what the Titans were supposed to be with the addition of Julio Jones. But I think you said this for me, and we're going to see this in the next couple of games for the Titans. Julio Jones signing with the Titans have a Odell Beckham to the Browns feel. Don't necessarily think it was necessary. All-world talent. Who wouldn't want another all-world talent on the team? But it could hurt more than it can help if we don't get this turned around. So, and then you got the Seahawks. The Seahawks is Seahawks. Listen, you said they're veterans. They're professionals. They know what they need to do to get into the postseason. They know what they need to do to win the division if that time comes. It just so happened they play in the toughest division in the NFL, in the NFC West. So that should be a game. And then, to the game that you use to open up everything. Hey, the Chiefs and the Ravens, man, here's the deal. You have games that's the main card, and then you got games that's the opening act. Chiefs and Ravens, that's main card. That's the bill that everybody came out to see. This ain't Texans and Jaguars. That's opening. That's opening act right there. That's, hey, come on in, get your free snacks. That's that game. But when Kansas City and Baltimore come on, that's a game where everybody sit down, pay attention. Hey, knock it off over there. We're watching the game. So, yeah, and, Ravens got to bounce back, man. Kansas City did what Kansas City does last week. The Ravens got to bounce back. I got it. They got a murderous row of injuries. I just seen like an injury report not too long ago. The injuries are crazy there. I'm going to say this again. Said it last week. I'm going to say it again. That strength and conditioning coach over there in Baltimore, I need to holler at you. I need to holler at you. Some of these injuries looks like they don't need to be injuries. These ain't natural. These ACLs and all that. We need to talk, buddy, because your program ain't cutting it. You want to learn how to run a program when it comes to strength and conditioning, you need to go holler at my boy, Dr. Dave Bullock down there in Alabama. Holler at him. He'll show you how to get it done. We out there creating some killers down there without hurting them or actually killing them like you doing. So that strength and conditioning coach, somebody need to pull his coat and go ahead. He need to be standing on the red carpet. So, yeah, with that said, man, all that said, those are the games I'm looking forward to this Sunday.